No clickbait. Yeah, I tore that landing gear business I was working on completely apart. I'll explain in the video. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment, like, and subscribe.
Yes, I have been working on the airplane, not as much as I like. It's summer, a lot of work to do, like real work. But I got an update, been here in the hangar, and all I've been doing is taking things apart and re-evaluating, rethinking. This is called experimental for a reason. So all of you guys that have been following along with my landing gear on the puddle jumper floats and figuring out a way to raise and lower the landing gear, I took something apart. It just didn't work. Follow me. I'm going to turn around here and talk from behind. Hopefully I'm not talking too loud. Okay, I built this thing here. Let me see if I've got it in frame with the camera. Right. This little slider thing back and forth. Cables would have come in here and one cable on the front. And I would have pulled all of them and it would have raised the nose gear and raised the main gear. All three with one pull. Sounded like a really good idea. Oh, yeah, I'm full of good ideas. Didn't work. The amount of friction inside those cables and all the little moving parts all added up to the point where you gotta be gorilla strong to pull it. So, as you can see, it's been removed. And I'm back to square one again. Two options. One option is, well, when I pull on these cables, hang on, let me point out here. When I pull on the cable, that's there with that green tag on there as a measuring thing, that cable is attached to that landing gear. And when I pull on it, it's actually not that hard. I'm estimating 10 pounds. Maybe 10 pounds of force in a straight configuration, straight through. But once you start putting bends on it, all the little restrictions and through the little blocks, it adds up. It multiplies that. Times 2 for the main landing gear, and then the front gear, which is heavier than the main gear, because, well, it just is. And it added up to, yeah, not a good thing. And so it's gone. This piece here, excuse my bad camera work here, this piece out. It's been removed. Let me step inside. Pardon the camera work. Okay, so I've got this lifted up to work on it. There's the right landing gear. There's the left landing gear. There's the locking handles, well, for the that go onto the box here. Anyways, originally these two cables were joined up on a little block here, and then it went straight out to the front and then back. Well, that was a pretty straight run with very little bends and curves in it. And so when you pulled on it, you had to pull about, I'm figuring 35 pounds, somewhere on there, maybe a little less. Pulling force to lift those gears and then hook it in place and then relock them. And then the front gear was a separate ring that you pulled up and you hooked on. And all that. I didn't like that because of two things. Well, you had to do two things, you know, lift two levers or handles, whatever. And the cables, in my opinion, were in a hazardous, kind of a precarious place that could entangle themselves with control cables, possibly. Probably not, but probably is not good enough for me. So I came along with this whole redesign thing and thought I was being smart, but I was. until I realized how much you had to yank on the damn thing in order to lift the gear. Oh my word. So, back to the drawing board. Back to what I was thinking of 2 years ago, maybe. Well, up above, I removed that crank handle for the flaps, the flapper-on crank handle, which is also your trim. Okay? Let me move this camera back a bit, too close. There. I moved removed the crank handle, put in a linear actuator, added a little bit of weight, about 1 pound. But it made it infinitely a lot easier to work with. I think it'll be a dream to fly with that, where you can trim it without having to reach behind, and you can keep your hand on the stick when you need to do some trim work. No problems there. I like that. A linear actuator is really easy to work with. They're not that heavy. You can get these things that have got 150, 250 pounds force. Won't need that. Won't need that. 50-pound linear actuator would be more than enough. And I'm really seriously thinking of going back to what I was originally planning over 2 years ago, was to put in a linear actuator for the main gear, and maybe even the nose gear. I could add the nose gear to it, and if it's too much of a stress on it, I could always go back to manually pulling the nose gear up. So where would I put this linear actuator, you say? Or you ask? I'm sure you've asked that. Well, let's come back over here. And right down here. You see where I've got the Morse cables coming through? And this is the cable for the water rudder. It's just tie strapped to that. So I'm thinking that I would put the linear actuator back here between the front and the rear seat. I don't know if you can see my hand here. But between the front and the rear seat, I'd build a little shelf for it and offset it to one side or the other, doesn't matter, and mount it there. The reason I'd want it there, not directly underneath the seat, is accessibility to the electrical connections and so on. And for servicing, I think it'd probably be best to have it a little farther back here. And I would reroute these cables. Currently, they come in here with the brake cables from the that lift. And I would take that and bring it up onto the strut over there. Just come in where the strut is, and follow the landing gear leg up in through the strut, or underneath it maybe. That might be a better option. Underneath it and then in. It would shorten up the cable, and yeah, I'm thinking right here is where I want to put it, right there. And they're not expensive. Again, easy to work. You can order them in various lengths. I've measured the throw on this, which is why the green tape to lift the landing gear is exactly 7 inches. So I would get an 8-inch linear actuator. Now, why an 8-inch when you're only needing 7 inches? Well, when it's fully extended, you want the gear up completely and you lock it in place. But when you drop the gear, I want the cable to be relaxed. I want it to be loosey-goosey. I want it just like, okay, so the gears will drop and drop all the way. There's nothing holding it up even a millimeter. So dropping the gear to go on land, cables be loose, raised to go on the water. There will be tension on there, and then you relock them. So that's the thinking. I'm kind of leaning that way. I'm going to go online and check out what the prices are, because when I bought the linear actuator that's up there, the prices have obviously changed, because well, that was at the end of 2019. No, I'm saying 2020. It was 2020, or was it 2021 when I bought them? I can't recall. I think it was 2020. I'll have to look. And I'll see what they have for options in the 50-pound range. I think I'll go 100-pound, just to be really sure. Because if I do put the nose gear on, it's going to leave the extra oomph in there, because you figure, I'm figuring 15 pounds per main gear, that's going to be 30. Yeah, I'll probably need a 100-pounder. And it doesn't matter. Just what it does is it's virtually the same gears I've discovered. It's just a landing, same linear actuated motor. It's the gearing that they change. The heavier weight ones got a finer gear, so more rotations per inch, so it'll lift more. Simple. I'm thinking that's the route to go. You know, designing the cable assembly, that kind of stuff to lift and lower is not going to be too difficult. I might work in there some sort of a emergency release pin. I'm thinking that what if the linear actuator dies in the full up position and I can't lower the landing gear? It'd be nice to be able to reach underneath the seat and grab a red handle, break a seal, pull it, and it releases the cables, and landing gear goes flump and drops right down. I think that I'm going to do that. I'm thinking that's exactly what I want to do. If I do that, I want a emergency gear down release of some sort. See, I'm thinking, guys. I'm thinking. Let me know what you think in the comments. Again, being experimental, you make changes. And I'm getting real close to that check ride to get my pilot's license, and I can fly this thing. So I really want to get this thing flying. Truth be told, I can fly it right now if I put the nose cone on and hooked up the pitot-static system and just closed a few things up. I can leave the landing gear just as it is, locked in the down position, and fly it, no problem, because I'm not landing in the water. So it is right now in a flyable condition. It's, I would guess, I'm about 4 hours work away total to get this thing in the air. And that's mostly nose cone, pitot-static, jury struts. I'll put the seat back together again, button up a few things. I fly it without the doors. I can put the windscreen on. All of that can be done in 4 hours. So I'm not that far away from a flying aircraft. But since I can't fly it right now, that's why I'm working on these things. And I'm going to go online shortly when I get back home, and I'm going to see what the prices of those linear actuators are. And I really think I'm going to go that route. Let me know what you think. This is a one-shot, one-cut update. There's no editing going on here, other than editing at the very beginning when I turn the camera on, because all you get to see is my fingers and all that kind of stuff. So thanks for following along. Appreciate everybody who follows along in comments and sticking with me, even with these long intermissions between updates. Soon, I promise you, soon, this will be in the air and I'll be taking you up with me. So that's it for now. Happy Mother's Day. It is Mother's Day today. And I'm going to edit and upload this thing today, so it'll be posted Mother's Day, Sunday. Take care, everyone. And go Jets, go. Now, yeah. See you again here in the hangar. Take care, and keep your stick on the ice. Bye for now.
Thanks for meeting me back here in the hangar. Let me know what you think in the comments. And thanks to all those who subscribe and hit that like button. Bye for now.